Right. Oh, wait, you got some rigmarole we got to do. Calling the meeting to order, and, Mike, Don, David, and myself are the voting members for tonight. We have minutes from a previous meeting. Do we have a motion to approve? Mike?
I motion to approve the meeting.
Second, and all those in favor? And the minutes are approved. Thank you very much. Now, I'm always impatient to get through the rigmarole. Stuff. We got to do that pro forma stuff. There'll be a test on Thursday.
You have other board members, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to ask David to handle this because he handled the original application and he's got all that on his computer and he knows his way around it.
Okay. Are you gonna formally recuse yourself, or you just?
Nope, I'm not recusing myself.
Okay.
I'm just relying on my vice chair. There are going to be some, at least one and maybe more subdivisions, and my brain is only so big, I can only do so much. That's relying on your brain.
So my name is Craig Sweet with Teradyne Consultants, and I know we just dropped everything on you guys, but I just wanted to take a couple of minutes just to explain what's in the package.
Could you back off? Spell your name.
Yep, it's Craig Sweet, S-W-E-E-T. So, as you guys are aware, Phase 1 was approved in 2020, which is everything shown in green, and that's been constructed over the past 2 years. We're coming back in for Phase 2, and underneath the conditional use permit from last time, it's an additional 60 lots, 60 RV sites for that. Sorry. All the sites have been designed for RV with matching impervious areas. The existing road we have all the existing information, the plans. This existing road here will be upgraded, and then a new road through here will be built as part of the construction. Everything we resubmitted the whole conditional use plan you guys had last time. We highlighted everything new in red, everything that's changed straight through. But it follows everything that was approved last time for the additional 60 units. And then we are proposing one additional change to the campground rules, which is just to prohibit dirt bikes. Everything else on the rules exactly the same as before. Nothing else is changing. Project will need a stormwater permit, site location permit, and we're working with DEP for that and getting that submitted for them for stormwater. There will be no additional changes to the construction that was originally shown. All lots will have water, electric, and sewer, and then there will be combined septics throughout and bathrooms every 500 feet for residents. So, and then we did show on here, just so you can see the proposed septic locations. And then after you guys have a chance to take a look at the layout and everything, in the next submission we'll have the full septic designs in there. We just want to make sure you guys had a chance to go through the layout and take a look at everything. As part of the upgrades of this road here, this existing bridge will be upgraded with guardrails for just the safety and additional traffic. The roadways will be designed for two-way traffic. think that pretty much high level covers anything, and I can answer any questions you guys have right now.
So is this the same design as it was submitted last time, like it's exactly the same?
Yes, for phase two, it's the same layout there that you guys had seen before, in the previous plans. We haven't changed it, so.
There is one change, the clubhouse, we're not putting the clubhouse in.
Correct, yeah, the clubhouse isn't going in, and there is the game room, adult center and bathroom there, but,
Which is already there.
yeah, other than the removal of the clubhouse, everything on the roadway layout's the same as previously shown.
Including those islets down there?
Yes, I believe so. This is phase three. We're just showing it for future now, and we're not asking for any permits for this one or this phase here, as part of this one. But, so this is just everything in red, but we're just showing the overall future build-out of the additional 45 lots to hit that 172 total. So the existing in green is 60 lots, additional 67 here to bring, so after this phase, it'll be 127, and then it'll be additional 42, which will come back at a later date, for that.
Okay.
The
These
same-
all campsites, cabins, and
They're all gonna be laid out to be used for RVs, cause they'll all have the same impervious, cover the same, cleared area, so that way the campground can let RV move a cabin into some of the other ones, or they could rent them as tent sites, they can all be interchangeable, and they'll all hit the same requirements for stormwater treatment, so that way it gives them a little bit more flexibility and covers all the treatment and stuff.
And so you're still working with the 462 acre parcel?
Same parcel, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are there gonna be any activities on any other adjoining parcels?
No, just this right here.
Okay. And is there any, cause you all own adjoining parcels, right?
Yeah, yep.
So is there any plan to use those in the future?
Not at this time. Right now, this is the only plan for the campground.
And what's the timing of the build out? Like, let's say you got approval by May 1st, would you build this year, or?
I think so.
Like, is it like a 1 year build, or is it?
It will be in phases, some of it's low hanging fruit, be quick, easy to put some sites in. Some of them up here on the ridge is gonna take more time, because we're gonna build roads and infrastructure, but the ones down here where the clubhouse was.
Yeah, it's flipped, I know, yeah.
Yeah, it's upside down. Where the clubhouse is gonna go,
Right.
that's a field that's all leveled out, we could pop these sites in relatively quick. But no, it's gonna be, once the season kicks off, we're full of campers, we can't be in there working. So it'll be a spring and fall rush.
What's in the middle of all the colored stuff?
In here,
Yeah.
there's a stream in there. So this is a stream that cuts through. We have a 100-foot setback that we're staying away from with all new development in there.
So that's symbol wetlands?
This right here, yeah, this hatch is the wetland area, and then we have this or the full dash line there, which is a 100-foot offset. And we're not proposing any construction in those zones.
So you said phase two, what's phase two trigger? You said stormwater,
Site location.
site location?
Yep.
That's a state?
Yes, yep, so we're working with Maine DEP for the site location, and then this will also trigger a NERPA permit, for,
What's NERPA?
the Natural Resource Protection Act permit for the wetland disturbance. So that's a separate one with DEP for it'll be with the bridge crossing, and then we have a culvert crossing, in here, which will permit through them with a tier 1 permit under, because it's under 10,000 square foot of wetland impacts.
And then you'll need some sort of traffic study, won't you? I mean, you're triggering, remember, Gary, we talked last time, you were going below, so you wouldn't trigger.
There's still, yeah, the original one was for 172 units on site would trigger the additional traffic study, and we're still below that 172. So after this build out, it'll be 127.
So what triggers that traffic study? Is that like a federal or a state, like?
For the MDOT, yeah, so once it's over the, trip count, which would, over hundred and 72 units would trigger the trip count based on the, how they do the ITE manuals for the traffic engineer. They'd be able to speak better to it, but, there's the ITE manuals which give you, like AM, PM, weekly.
Yeah, we're familiar with that.
Yeah, so
It's like from 1971 or something, 91 or
they
something.
keep updating it too, so, like, and I know the newest one, when they looked at it last time, it was 172, units would trigger the additional level of the traffic study and permitting, so we're keeping it underneath that level for this one. So the entire proposed, once we get through this phase and phase 3, the entire thing will still be at the threshold that wouldn't require an additional level of the DOT study.
So, and you're going from, what's the number now?
60.
So is there actually 60 built now?
There's 60 bills on, yeah.
Okay, and then you're going to 120?
127, so there's gonna be additional 67.
And the 60, are those all, what do you call those machines? The mobile, not mobile homes, what do you call them?
Some are cabins, some are tents, some are RVs.
Yeah.
RV, that's what it's thinking.
Right now, I believe it's 19 RV and then 41 cabin and tent, I think is what the numbers I have.
So the 67 are gonna be all RV?
All RV, yeah, so they're all gonna be designed for, and then, so that way, if you rent it out as a campsite, it's kind of interchangeable for them, kind of to rent it out, but it'll be designed and permitted for the DEP and, so.
And there was supposed to be a dump station, is that being, or?
We have a dump station that's been put in, permitted.
Okay.
We'll have to have more as well. We have the one that covers this right now.
Yeah. And how have you done on like backing up onto the road there? Like, have you had any problem on Sundays or Fridays with people coming in and backing up?
So we do on reservation, is we'll look, like it's a Friday, and we have like 22 check-ins, we'll email the people and say, check-in at 3 o'clock. So we'll call them and say, you're more than welcome to show up at 9 o'clock and the site's open. So we spread out the check-ins throughout the day.
Try to keep them there.
And it worked really well last year.
Okay.
Some of the people need driving lessons on this thing.
I can imagine. I imagine they drive up your driveway every once in a while.
No,
They haven't really?
no, no, I had somebody start making their turn about 150 yards down 113, and by the time they got to Senator Black Road, I was backing up. You know, it's just somebody needed driving lessons. You gonna offer driving lessons? No.
So a lot of what we submitted it all goes with what was developed last time, the first phase in the conditional use permit, and we tried to just submit everything so you could kind of see what's changing and what's not, and really it's the biggest change to the campground rules is we're removing dirt bikes, and then we've just updated some of the language in the letter just to, from the first phase to the second phase here.
What was the date of the letter that you changed? Like, you know what the base letter was?
Oh, the original one?
Yeah.
I don't know the original
Can you
date.
find that out?
Yeah, I could do that.
That would be helpful, because there's a lot of submissions last time.
Yeah, yep.
We cleaned it up this time, I promise you.
So this one right here was,
Don't get a permit, man, it's all good.
this is an update to the latest one that was submitted. I'll get that date for you, what the latest one prior to this one was.
Yeah, that'd be helpful,
Um,
just to remind me.
So yeah,
I
but-
assume it was like 6/8/2020 or something like that, or maybe even 5/8/2020 right around there, because the permit was approved like 6/18 or something, so I think it was right before the,
Yeah, we just, on this one, we just, struck through what was removed from that original one, and then everything in red is the new stuff for the phase 2.
So, I see our famous small world going
Yes,
in.
that is there. And we have the 100-foot buffer around it, and the nearest campsite, I believe, is 300 feet away.
So I wondered, are you just, and this is maybe more curiosity in anything? Are you gonna do anything other than have it on this map and have a setback?
No, that's not the plan at the moment, just kind of keeping it here, keeping it protected away from the development.
I've actually tried to find it, and I went back out with the engineer that found it. It's about this big.
Yeah, I know, I know.
So it's out in an area where there's no traffic, nobody's gonna be around it.
It's on the other side of a wetland, so I don't think anyone's gonna trudge across.
When DEP made up the map and they introduced it to, forestry community, I was there, and they would not tell me where the Pagonia was in Baldwin, much less on your land or anything like that. They felt that that was protecting the plant, was to not let people
Not
know where it
really.
was. So that's why I was like, oh my God, they pinpointed it, you know?
Right, if
Now
you
I
put
can.
signs up, stay away, do not trip, they're gonna go.
They're gonna go see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Step here.
Right, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Other than showing it here, there's gonna be no attention called to it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Bob, it looks like one of the changes that they're making is whenever it refers to Marston's Road, they're saying essentially that's the town's problem. Is that okay with you? No, I understand, but like, is the additional usage on that road such that they should bear some liability for its upkeep? Like, are you seeing the road being beaten down by their usage and?
Yep, and it's causing the town, some extra maintenance headaches. I think Gary knows, we've got a house up on the end of the road now, and, it's muddy and
Yeah, right now, I talked to the road commissioner, because it's muddy and terrible up there, and people are trying, but it's being caused by people up there now in the off-season. We haven't had anybody there since October, and you go up through it, and it's tire tracks everywhere.
Oh, it never was good. I mean, I don't remember it ever as being good.
Right. It's a cut-through beer drinking road, basically is what it is.
It's an adventure.
Where's the house? Is it the property you split off, or? is it-
Correct. It's right where the old road crosses.
Yeah, on the other side of the pond, the big pond.
Correct. Up on the right-hand side.
that gets to be a real muddy mire there, I guess, when we get into wet season.
Right. The road from Colleen's house back to the campground and out through, in my opinion, and anybody else's, is holding up really well. There's no issues on, once you cross the brook and go up through, that's where the issues are.
Yeah, I mean, I just mean like, are they doing something to the road that they should be responsible for? That's what I'm talking about. Not the road, like if it's not their fault, then they shouldn't have to pay for something, but if it's their fault, like culverts are crashing because they have so many cars, I'm not saying it is, but just like, that's the kind of stuff that we wanna make sure that, especially with these RVs coming through now, I mean, there's gonna be more traffic.
It's a dirt road, it's, gets rutted up in the spring and the fall when it gets wet.
But during the summer, it seems okay?
We water it during the dry spell.
I do. I see you also struck the signage on Senator Black, driver awareness signage.
Yes.
Any particular reason why?
So, I wasn't involved in that part, but from my understanding is that once the new road commissioner and several residents, didn't want the sign once we were after the approval, so it wasn't ever put up.
Right. It's not really his choice, but,
I would agree with that. It's not needed.
you think so?
No.
Even with more RVs coming through?
I never noticed them. I mean, I was wondering if they were being directed to the other end of Senator Black Road, and it's so few. I mean, it's.
Don't know.
No.
Right, that's fine.
Compared to the yearly increase in traffic on 113, nothing. you know, as I said before, nobody restricts my driveway. Which totally amazed me. Nobody that I know of came up my driveway with me.
Yeah, I like the sign on Brown Road too, I mean, I think it's been helpful.
GPS direct campers are through there,
Right.
and FedEx trucks, and oil trucks, I
Yeah.
pull a lot of people off that road.
Yeah, what is their last name? Where the people at the top of the hill there?
Pat Jordan?
Jordan, yeah, Jordan. He said he's helped a few guys out of that situation.
You know, the sign definitely helps, there was only like, I think, 2 last year, that went up through there.
Alright.
Not too much has changed. I think the biggest changes are just the owner changing. And then a little bit up in the front, we updated, we resubmitted it. And then we resubmitted everything that was kind of in the original package. And in the appendix of the letter, we kind of noted what was, just if anything was changed or it's exactly the same. And then once you guys get a chance to dig in more, we're happy to come back whenever you guys are ready for it.
Have you talked to your neighbors about this?
Not everybody down Federal Black Road, right, both of the immediate neighbors that are down there, on Markson Road,
Any pushback?
they push back away.
Okay. So are you looking for a new permit for the entire property?
For phase 2.
Or you and that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out, so you can't, you want different conditions on phase 2 than on phase 1?
The same conditions, we go for the same, we base off the same thing that was here, cause it's the same 60 that we had originally 67 we originally laid out in the initial round, so we're just looking to amend the other one to add the 67 to it. And then we'll come back at a later time, with the next phase 3 when that's ready, but we're just looking for the phase 2 right now.
Yeah.
So basically, nothing's changing except for limiting dirt bike, no clubhouse.
And then we're doing the additional 67 that were shown on the original plans that were there.
When I talked with you or with,
Discussion about food truck and the pump, we don't want any of that,
not even a food truck?
not even the food truck.
You were talking about, amplified music or something.
Yep, not gonna do it.
You decided against that too?
Yes.
We're just gonna stick to what was in the original.
The wheels rolling, the wheels working, we just wanna,
I agree with
we
that
wanna upgrade it.
business attitude. I agree with that totally.
You know, we still wanna do our fireworks on 4th of July,
Yep,
but other than that, it's working. In my opinion, I think we had a pretty good year. I didn't get any feedback, and negative feedback anyway,
yep,
so I just wanna just keep this rolling forward.
Yeah, that makes sense.
yep.
Would you be able to certify that you're in compliance with all the requirements of the CUP now? And if you're not in compliance, like, you know, what,
That would be a question for the CEO.
well, I know, but you kinda know it, you know the expectations, like, are the signs up, I mean, you know it better than he does, like, are the signs up on the trails?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you prohibiting parking on that road? I mean, there's like 20 different conditions, like, some of them you're not, like the signage on Senator Black, you're saying we don't wanna do that for the reasons why. And dry hydrant, you're not doing that. But like, I think it would be helpful for us, for
Sure.
you to go through and to say, we're complying with everything in the CUP except for this, and this. And then we can have a discussion about this, and that.
Strike it off.
Yeah, like it's not necessarily a bad thing. I just wanna make sure we kind of start from a
Clean it up.
Sure. Sure, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
like if there's something you don't wanna comply with or aren't complying with, I'd like to know that so we can discuss it.
Right, to hide and comply, we spoke with a, fire chief.
Yeah, no, I understand,
And
yeah.
They made us a test in their truck, we let them use the pond to test the truck, they did a water test and they take water out of it. And they deemed that they just want to use a skimmer, they didn't want a hydrant.
Yeah, no, I understand,
Yeah, we can go through and do like a checklist there and just kind of, we meet this, or like with the fire hydrant thing, we'll have the explanation of what's going on there, just so you guys can kind of go through that and just compare it to anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Craig, one of the things that I was always concerned about is spillage to the other properties.
Yep.
So if you're going to use the other properties for trails or whatever, they need to be included in the CUP or have their own separate CUP.
Okay.
If they're going to be used by the campground as part of the.
Amenities, yep.
Yeah, exactly. That was always a rub, and it seems to be fine, the neighbors don't seem to be complaining, but that was always the concern I have, is that if, you know, there's a 250 or 300 acre lot on the backside that I think y'all, hey, we do or don't want this, or here's the concern.
Sure.
Could I make a suggestion that we ask for a, survey? I mean, if we have a survey of land to be used, then we know there's no survey in here.
We have
It's always been one of the.
Yeah, I don't know why.
No, we do have a survey, in tab 12 here, in the book that we did.
Right.
There's a survey.
There's also an Alta survey for us there as well. You have an Alta survey, it shows all the utilities, buildings, poles.
Yeah, so the updated plans have all the existing conditions are surveyed up for the phase one in the plan set.
Yeah, so Craig, this is the issue, so this is a survey of 157 acres of used area.
Yep.
Not the 462, I think it is, that is covered by the conditional use permit.
Okay, we can create a figure on that to kind of show what you guys want.
No, I'm used to, when I look at surveys also, to see who the neighbors are. I mean, that would be helpful, yeah, because it says other land of nature's wilderness was, yeah, I mean, that's what you're talking about.
Well, guys, because this is just a 157. Remember when we started this, and you remember, we said we want to know the building envelope, like what land are they going to disturb? And so that was the 157 was the disturbed land. And then we said, well, we also want a map of the 462, it's in the, whatever it is. We want that, and we never got that, because there's always this kind of, vague of what was gonna happen with the rest of the property. I think because there were some family questions about whether or not there was gonna be some property given away, so there's, back at the very start, with Scott's family or something. So, it would be cool to get that.
We could get an overall plan with all the properties on, in a buyer's list of that,
Yeah.
all that. So, yeah, we could prepare that.
Right. I'm overwhelmed by all this, I can't absorb it all.
There's a lot here, yeah. Yeah, I'm just giving you guys the highlight, and then we'll come back when you guys get a chance.
462, yeah, that's what's in the conditional use permit.
Yeah, we can make a figure that shows all those lands with the buyers on it and the list for you guys.
Great,
That'll make it easier.
That'd be cool.
If you guys have any other questions, I dropped some cards up there, so feel free to shoot me an email with anything or give me a call. We can get some stuff prepared and address it for the next time we come.
We'll try to keep it here as much as possible.
Yeah, if you want to send me an email, a formal one, and I could respond to it before the next meeting, so you guys could have it and we could discuss it then at the meeting, kind of thing.
Yeah. And this is good.
There's a lot here.
There's a lot here.
So, board, what do you think the next, so what is, actually, Greg, what's your time horizon?
I mean, whenever you guys get a chance to dig in and are ready for us to come back, we're ready. We have to work with DEP for the site location, and that's a longer process, so, we just get it all going at once.
Where are you at with that, with the DEP?
We've submitted, the plans, and then we have pre-submission meeting with them they wanted, so, early stages with it, so.
How long does that take?
About a 6-month process.
6 months,
Yeah.
5 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
So our hope would be to kind of, when we get that, maybe be ready for final on this at the same time. That's kind of where we would be, so we can kind of get that all wrapped up at once, but,
Yeah, so you're looking at end of July for that, that's
yeah.
6 months out.
Yeah, so that way, once we get the site location, kind of, wrap them kind of all up around the same time if possible.
Do we need, another site walk to understand this project?
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and then we have a rule about how much snow on the ground, 2 inches of snow on the ground. And I guess, you know, recently with our last site walk, I saw how vital that is.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see things, cause it's hidden by 2 feet of snow, you can't tell it's there. And you went up against this last time. But I think that's an important thing, especially on a large project like this. We should, if we're doing our job, do a lot of walking.
Yeah, and I haven't been on the property since, you know, I built it out. I mean, I've driven by, but I haven't been in. Hey, Craig, when you do the maps, though, can you use the NWRRD LLC as the client name?
Yeah.
Be consistent throughout, so it's easier for us to match it up.
Sure.
It looks like the modern American campground. I'm sure it's like a
Yep.
parent corp or something. But just put everything in the name of the applicant.
Sure.
So you're looking at earliest build is gonna be fall. Like that's like jam. Okay.
Yeah, we're asking this time. We didn't build it first.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think we all do. All right, well, I think we need a couple, I think we need a couple sessions, maybe a month or so to kind of look through this.
Sure.
If we're going to discuss it at a meeting, kind of talk about what we see and any concerns we have, so Craig, maybe Gary, think about being here the second
Sure.
meeting in February. I have no idea what it is.
And then as you guys dig into it, if
Oh, what
there's
the
any
date
other
is?
questions for us, as you want to bring to next meeting, just let us know.
Okay, yeah, we tend not to do that.
Oh, no, that's fine, wherever your process works for that, so.
It just,
The 23rd of February.
and then at that meeting, we can decide whether or not, so at that meeting, if you could bring that 462
Yep.
breakout, just call it the next exhibit 16 or whatever.
Yep, and he's offering also a survey of all the land
Yeah.
and a description.
Yeah, that was the 462, yeah. And then we could possibly say the application's complete at that time, and then schedule a site walk and public hearing. We may have 2 public hearings, just because this has traditionally been
Sure.
a point of interest for townsfolk.
Okay.
And then, but I could see seriously talking about resolution by April.
Sounds great, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, we're gonna have a site walk, maybe in April, be able to have a site walk.
At this rate, we could have a sidewalk like
Next
early
week.
March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been such a weird winter.
I was in Portland today, there's almost no snow in Portland,
Oh, I believe it.
because it rained like 4
Yeah,
inches.
I live in Bath and almost all of our snow is gone by the time I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
I'm in my yard though.
Yeah, well, here we have fun. For how long? I mean, I don't know. Yep. Anybody have any questions? Do you have any questions? Okay. Last question, do you have this electronically?
Yes, that was another question I had of who to send it to electronically.
You can send it to either myself or to Joe. We can forward it to.
Secretary.
You can send it to Don.
Okay. If you don't mind, do you have my card there? If you could shoot me an email, and I'll just respond to your email on there, because my email's right on the card. And we can just send everything right over to you electronically there.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you my contact.
Sure.
And then Don, you can just send it to us, just roll it out.
Thank you guys for your time tonight.
Well, thank you.
Welcome, yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Do you have this on PDF, or how do you have it?
We have a PDF, yep. So and then I can send that right to you.
We'll probably put that up on the website,
Okay.
because it's kind of of interest, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And then a lot of changes, so.
So,
Change is change, you know.
Don, how do we deal with DH2M? Do you wanna ask them to come into our next meeting, first meeting in February?
If that's what you'd like to do, that's entirely up to you.
We wanna get rid of these people, you know, especially since you're saying there are possibly other subdivisions coming up.
And there's that one and at least one more in addition to the other one, which is a central one.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Where is it?
That's up on Route 11.
It's submitted by somebody who has stock in rubber band companies. Well, there you are, and whoever is involved.
Right at.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
It's on Route 11, on the Sebago Road, opposite Mr. Fuller's, Mr. Peters' sand pit.
It's where they cut, and they put a pad. They put that pad in there,
Yeah,
there's a concrete pad in there?
They're moving a building there right at the corner.
Yeah.
That's not them, it's one up from there.
Okay.
It's,
That's the swampland.
this is what you get as your prize
All right,
for having come to the meeting tonight.
Oh, wait, is this the land that Kurt came to talk to us about where he wanted to know if he could, he wanted 4 separate lots, and he wanted 4 separate driveways, and we said, no, you had to have 1 driveway and an access road in front. And I said, well, maybe you could put it in,
But I could be wrong.
do you remember that?
This is right at the intersection of Burnell Road.
Last page on this shows you how he wants to divide it up. And he's, putting separate lots, and they all look to be fronting separately on state-numbered highways.
I got this.
It should probably be same,
Looks like they're not running.
that he's got 2 mother lots rather than 1 mother lot. That would be one guess. So I don't know, there's some discussion.
Yeah, this is.
I think this is the property.
It was Mr. Fuller's land. There's something about Mr. Fuller contributing a lot to this subdivision, if I remember correctly.
And the other proposed one is down on Joseph Alicio Road.
Good to see you, folks.
And I think about 6 or 7 lots in that one down there.
Are they ready?
They're working on it.
Okay.
Where is it, I'm sorry?
On Vista Felicia Road.
Yeah, you wouldn't, it's,
Down by Standish, on the
Right.
left.
yeah, down there in, I can't think what the name is. Bishop Delicio breaks off from, oh, God.
Rockin' a Hard.
No, before that. You gotta down that, right here. And there's a piece back there. We just, the guy back there, he foreclosed on it, just about sold the house up from underneath him.
Exactly. Across the way from that.
What map is that?
You end up to their house a little bit.
This here, yeah, but it's not this one. But there's a number of lots up there that were broken off, and, you know, in the neighborhood of 7 or 8 acres each. Road,
Either one A or one B, one or the other.
Here it is, right here. So you go off on Harris Road,
Yep.
and then Bishop Delicio is an extension of that.
Right.
And there's all of these lots up in here, kind of odd sizes. So I don't know which is in the subdivision, but what are they doing? Well, I don't know what they're doing, but this is the,
Try to bury a body or something?
No, that was over on my
This is here, I think.
No, there was one here where in
Oh.
the backyard, they dug a
It's
hole
over
in.
here somewhere,
Yeah, it's like right
Really?
in there, yeah.
They did
I
bury
mean,
it.
it's- so they did bury it, that's right, yeah.
Well, they did bury it, the state came and dug it out,
That's right.
did a autopsy, and they said, well, okay.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one, I guess, the one on Brown Road.
It's very similar,
They
but
do
they
it
went
with
to
a
backyard.
chainsaw or something like that.
Because by state law, you can't do anything within a fairly large perimeter around there.
Right.
If anybody ever.
They wanted to.
Yeah, well, but, like, if you don't put marking or anything, like, nobody knows. I've got a couple of dogs buried, and
Yeah, bears, whatever.
Bear sheep, yeah.
this is an interesting area, that's an interesting area of town.
Yeah, I don't know who was that, broke that up, it was, one of the local ladies here, I think owned it at one point, but this place here is pretty rough. The guy that lives up in there, was it you and I? No, it was, I went up with, Terrible. I don't know what's going on up there, and then this is Ken Porter, we debated, we gave the house back to him. But we came within a day of selling it out from underneath him. That was the guy who just wouldn't talk to us, wouldn't come around until the day of the bid openings. This is a mess up there, I mean, why would anybody do?
Okay.
I would like to get some information on the Glenville project, because we've had discussions with them on Tuesday night about the TIF, for the credit enhancement agreement. We need some more info that's not readily available. I think it's on, the CUP though. Is there a drawing that shows what is in the project and what isn't, and how many acres are and are not on the project?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to have that, that's part of the, TIF application.
It's in one of those maps.
I don't have to, I mean, I have it at home, I have one at home.
I mean, right now, we've got the tax maps, but it's not the whole
think that's the one that has it, right?
My understanding is it wasn't all of Steve's empty property.
No, it's just part of it, I can tell you very exactly where it is, because right up in the island. Let's get where Anderson Road is, right up here. I think it's over, right over here.
Wherever there's an oblong, those are all,
Yeah, I know, but, so, where's the perimeter of the project?
we did ask for that too.
This is
I
Anderson
remember.
Road
I
here,
know.
and that's the perimeter
So-
of the project over there, the part of it.
Do you remember that? We asked specifically for a perimeter map.
Can't do this right now.
You can't do that, though.
We've got a fairly short amount of time to get the project. We can do it.
Yeah, it may not be on here. We do have a map that shows, like, where it is in Baldwin and where it is in, I don't know.
Yeah,
We asked for a specific map that outlined the difference between EW's land that was left behind and what they were using.
so this is Steve's land, and I think this is Ricky Day, right?
Yeah, both of
Right.
those are Ricky's.
And, but I didn't think Steve wanted the whole thing.
No, he doesn't. We didn't give him a permit for the whole thing.
Okay.
It was a color map, it was a color line.
Yeah. I don't think on Glenvale, we have I don't think we have the whole CUP in here, cause like Glendale's like, you know, it's a huge CUP.
I don't know, there might be a few other details that with the TIF, you look at the before cost, or what the before value, and then the after value. And it's going from tree growth, or whatever it's in, or just trees, to commercial property.
Yeah.
Another acreage.
The quarry's on Big Road too.
Yeah, I think it's in tree growth, because we just gave them a date.
Like the way in which I had a couple of calls with them yesterday, yesterday.
They have a letter in their legal department from whom?
From somebody in the town, that said that they are not able to do that, and I said, that's not my understanding, I would look into it, which is why I made the calls that I did. And they were in the process, even though they had a very productive meeting on the TIF, with shutting it down, because in order to do that whole thing over, they have to start over with the state and the federal government. And the reason for their delays were getting the material and the transporters and a lot of specialized equipment. And they were hugely relieved. And when I called them back yesterday afternoon, they catched me into the meeting, the third meeting of the day, dealing with this. And come to find out, all that power is going to Massachusetts and Connecticut because of that big transmission line that cuts through there. But that's another whole story.
Yeah.
It was very productive, the conversations with the company.
Good.
They seemed to be good to work with. But I said to him, unless they were making any changes, and they said they were not, I said, I can't see the point of putting the planning board. I said, I can't speak for the planning board, but it didn't seem productive to go through that whole process again, where all they needed was an extension. I think it runs out in the fall, and their tentative plan is to start building it in June of 24.
Yeah,
So, you should be getting a letter from the legal department, because I was working with a project manager. They're gonna send a letter from the legal department requesting an extension.
Great.
And I said that would probably be a good way to go, and I said, I don't think there's gonna be an issue with that. I can't speak for the planning board.
What I would like is a copy of whatever letter we sent, giving them their last extension, so I don't have to draft a new letter.
Right, I suggested that to them, if they did that and changed the date based on the
Yeah.
conversation I had with you.
Yeah,
He was gonna turn that over to legal, they have the conversation.
yeah.
And it's the accountant people that were here on the TIF, and meanwhile, their other group was, so I'm kinda glad to have that relationship started with him.
Great.
And it'll be good to know exactly what the requirements are from the town as far as the planning board and the CUP and everything, so I can make sure it's done the right way. But I don't think it's gonna be a problem working with them.
Good.
So if, it would be good if we had a consensus from, I guess, the board that that's what they would be willing to do.
Are we agreed that as far as we know, we can give an extension, barring anybody coming up with something? Why can't we just say, have a vote, in an open meeting that it's been announced and so forth?
I think they have to be,
What?
I think they have to be here and show up, but
Oh, well, all
I don't
right.
see any problem doing it.
Yeah,
So,
right.
so I think it's in the CUP, so like, this is like, property lines in yellow, and you can see,
I've seen one of those somewhere, I'm not sure.
in the full CUP, it has like what I think you're looking for. And I think it says, like, that's the part in higher, no, that's Ricky, Ricky, you can see it right there. We have a copy here.
Yeah, mail it to me. I'm gonna have to just verify it anyway, but.
So you can see how much of the property they're using, so that's the use, that's
Yeah.
the building area, and that's.
It'd be nice if they would tell us the number. 60 acres or 90 acres, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure we
I
have.
think
But
they have that.
you're just testing to see if we know what we're doing.
No, the problem is, we've got, Lisa Raffin, who's kind of one of their business managers, has been working with him, and so she doesn't really understand all the details of the project. The guy that was here last night is a lawyer.
Right.
Aiden Foley probably, which you guys worked with, probably knows it better than anybody, but, there's a lot of back and forth between.
Lot numbers.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I thought that was in there somewhere.
Yeah, so yeah, if you could send that to me.
Yeah, and we have a copy here, so I mean, you know about the CUPs, right? Like, there's these books, that the first 10 pages of all the CUPs. So all the CUPs are in here except for one or two I couldn't find. And then in here, there's a USB drive that has all the full CUPs on them.
She's done a phenomenal job sorting that out.
And passwords and all of that. So if you ever wanna just get the CUPs, they're right here. Same with you guys, if you just wanna take the USB, take it home, put it on your home, they're numbered like 1 through 102 or 4, like that.
Good.
Just don't lose the USB drive, David will kill you.
Well, but I have it in my computer, so like, and I was gonna put the minutes on there too, but I'm not done with the minutes, but I have, like on my computer, I have the minutes for, 2014 to 2022. Like, they're all there, so. And some that aren't online.
Go back and add in numbers for fencing and buildings and stuff like that. That's good. We've got to do the real estate. They've agreed on the parameters of assessing at 70 cents a watt.
Right up my road,
But can you
that would be
expand it to
nice.
this building?
No. So we're really limited project as to how we can spend TIF money. But, I don't know if you've seen the briefings I put together on the TIFs, but the TIFs, some of these towns down on the coast,
Yeah.
get very little money.
100%.
They pay for 100%. And as you get out into the poorer and poorer districts, the state collects up money from wherever they collect the money.
Yeah.
People from away spending a year in the summer, I don't know. And distributes it. The school gets X amount of dollars from the state every year. Now, if all of a sudden Baldwin ends up with a boost in assessed value,
Then
that decreases.
revenue sharing goes down.
Yeah, revenue sharing.
Okay, I get it.
It's a pernicious game. It really-
So we can't renew, like, that's, I'm sure what it is, it's not us, nobody, Baldwin said you can't,
It was somebody in Baldwin who said it.
we'll see.
I'd love to see that letter.
I had the letter read to me.
Okay. I just want
Have
to
an
see the
email it to
signature.
you.
Who signed it? Not me.
You really wanna know?
My predecessor?
Yes,
No.
yes,
Matt?
Matt?
Matt Fricker.
No,
Really?
I don't think Matt was
Oh.
saying that.
And it was, I could give you the date, but I'd have to get it from him again.
Yeah.
I asked specifically, because I said I really wanna know,
Yeah.
because I need to track down what's going on here, because
No, we'll have a vote. He can be a early vote. That's okay.
So are you gonna email me?
I am. And if I don't, you can remind me.
Okay.
no, the letter essentially says they gave one extension and no more would be given. If they wanted to proceed, they had discussions to have.
See you later,
No,
gentlemen.
I-
Okay, well, that's good.
I
Oh,
don't
wait,
think
Bob, I
so.
wanted to ask you a question before you go. I'll come out there. Move to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
All those in favor of adjourning, we're adjourned.